Okay, I'm back. This has got one of those plastic containers that makes it hard to open without some help. But they have lots of different versions of these things on eBay. I decided to go for the original Bondic brand name, even though it was a few dollars more. I did that for several reasons, but mostly just the reviews of the cheaper brands said that they tended to leak in the mail. And so apparently this is basically just your super glue that comes in a jar, or you know, a pre-made set of stuff. And apparently that's pretty messy if it gets out, so. And then this is just a laser light. Pretty bright stuff, but you probably don't want to look right at it. And then of course it comes in a nice little box. I can already tell there's something pretty nasty in there. After opening it up, it smells pretty bad. But apparently this is the color instruction set. Talks about repairing plastic, insulating wires, fixing leaks. In fact, it says you can make thread, repair your thread and jewelry threading for a bolt. So it says remove the cap, squeeze the tube to apply, and then shine the UV light. That's about it. Bottom surface must be clean and free of dust and grease. It is not a glue, and it will not work like one. The surface must be rough in order for the fluid to grab onto the material. So it says remove the cap, squeeze the cartridge to dispense the fluid. Sounds like we got some lightning and thunder going on outside. See, my cats are pretty excited about that. But looking again here, surfaces can afterwards be painted or polished or sanded. Depending on how thick the repair is, it says to apply Bondic in several layers and allow each layer to harden. So cure speed is dependent on the lamp intensity from the lamp and the depth of the cure, but apparently it gets warm. So let's see if we can get this to work. Whew, pretty strong smell. I wonder if maybe my cap has been there we go. So rather than unscrewing the whole top, instead you should just take the cap off and then carefully brush the product. Now for this step I'm going to turn a light on because it's gotten pretty dark in here with that thunderstorm happening. So we'll just flip that on here. And then we'll take another look here. So it looks like there's a little bit of glue already coming out. I'll just try to zoom in a little bit here. You can see that this is pretty rough. And I'll just drip the glue on that side, and then I'll turn it over, and just for kicks we'll put some glue on the other side as well. Looks like you can squeeze this to get more to come out if you want. So now I'm going to squish these two pieces together best I can and kind of push on them. And while that is happening, I'm going to turn on the light. So, light on, and point it at the stuff to be bonded and hold it tight. Hopefully, looks like I spilled a little bit there. I'm actually going to put the top back on because I can kind of smell that stuff. And I'll just kind of point it close as I can there for about 15 to 20 seconds. Seems like it's getting hard. You can already tell that it's not coming off. Let me go around the edges here. Now it looks like it left a little gap in the back. Maybe I wasn't pushing down hard enough, or maybe I was too focused on making a video. But that actually may not be a bad thing, because as the instructions said, for larger gaps you may want to do more than one coat. So after this is dried, maybe what I'll do, disable the LED. Seems like it's dry. I'm going to wash my hands when I'm done here, of course. So I'm going to actually try to do another coat. Let's see if I can get something to hold this down. I should have had some sticky. Alright, let me try coat number 2 here. Try to drip this down inside there. Maybe just for the heck of it, I'll go out a couple inches or a couple millimeters on either side. You know what this might work really well with is carbon fiber or fiberglass tape. So that works well, just to pop the top back on it like that. Flip it over, turn on the light, and then just point it directly at the section you just repaired. That worked out well because it actually left about a 1/2 millimeter gap on the back end here that allowed me to really fill it in deep. Where the entire thing that needs to be filled is about 3 millimeters wide. If I had not left that gap, the light wouldn't have been able to reach inside there to really harden anything. Just to the outside edges is all. So it looks like it's getting hard already. Just waiting for it to finish here. See if that is hard yet. Mostly, it still feels a little bit sticky, so I'm just going to hold this on there for about another 30 seconds. If this is anything like the dentist when they put that infrared light on your teeth, this may not be as strong. So apparently there are some hazards to this, so don't breathe in, apparently. Try not to look directly at the LED light because it's basically laser. Only use it for a maximum of 10 seconds at a minimum of 25 inches from the eye, and apply only for intended use. Basically, don't look at the light for very long. If you accidentally touch the stuff, wash your hands. do not dump into the sewage system. If you need to recycle it, you should harden the product before recycling it. Does not conduct electricity. Not suitable for 120 volt. Not suitable for nails, screws, plugs, and dowels. Different thermal expansion coefficients of different materials. Bondic can be actively or passively detached from the base at high temperature differences. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off now. And we'll take this into a spot where we've got a good light. But from what I can see, looks like it's hard, and it feels pretty solid actually. I mean, uh-oh. So the back end is solid. Let me just do the other side the same way, see if we get any better results. Open this up, kind of open the gap a little bit and drip some Bondic in there. We'll make sure and go out a couple of millimeters. Try not to breathe. This stuff is probably not good for you, of course. I'll try to go along the edges. And on the back end as well. Okay. Pop the top back on there. Kind of wiggle this around just to try and get some stuff into the gaps. Once again, we'll turn on the light and I'm gonna just look away and just let the light do its thing. Make sure and get the edges. So yeah, I mean, I'm not convinced that this is going to resolve this problem, to be honest, but it'd be interesting to see just how strong it actually is. It'd be great if it could restore this plastic back to its original strength, but I don't really expect it to do that. I think in order for this plastic landing gear to be as strong as it was before, it's going to require some extra help, like some fiberglass tape or some wire with tape, something to kind of hold it in place. But this is the review. I wanted to see how strong this stuff is. So I'm just using my eyes to like locate where I want the light to be, but then I'm looking away. I'm not looking directly at it, because when I first turned it on, I looked at it for about 10-20 seconds, and when I looked away, I could tell there was a spot kind of left in my retina. Even though you're not looking directly at the light, it is pretty strong UV. Same thing, of course, that causes sunburn, and we all know lasers are not good for your eyes in general, so. Alright, so I think that's enough drying. I'm just going to turn the light off. And take one more look at this. In general, it seems pretty solid now. I'm going to let it dry for a few hours, and I will follow up on this video after I get this on the helicopter, and we'll just see if it holds up to actual usage. Alright, thank you for watching during this massive thunderstorm, which may have caused trouble with the sound. Sorry about that, but it is a beautiful day outside from what can be seen.